Hi, my name is Dr. Bruce Miller. I had some goals in mind that I wanted to accomplish that nobody else had ever completed in my profession. I want to put a multiple disciplinary facility together so that we could not only have one doctor's opinion in my office, but we could have 8 doctors' opinions in my office with 8 different specialties. And whoever had the right idea or the best idea to fix this person was right there in that office. And I accomplished that dream. I had 2 orthopedic surgeons, a neurosurgeon, 2 chiropractors, an acupuncturist, 3 physical therapists, and a bunch of massage therapists. And we gave our patients excellent care. And during that period of time, I enjoyed being on the front of the Achievers magazine. They've only put 2 doctors on the front of that magazine in its whole history. And it talked about the size of my practice and all my accomplishments. One of them was that in 1974, I had my own operating room in an office with my own anesthesia, doing manipulation of the spine, the neck, the low back, under anesthesia. I was the first chiropractor in the world to ever be head of a department in a hospital over a chiropractic department, where I taught medical doctors how to adjust the spine. That was quite an achievement, and I was very, very proud of it.
Dr. Miller led an active life, including racing and fishing. This life that he loved so much caused him to suffer from an occasional painful cold sore.
It comes from the sun, or it comes from bad diet, or it comes from being nervous. And the little virus hangs around the neck and the ganglion, and when you get into that stressful situation, it follows a course somewhere around your mouth, and bingo, you've got a cold sore. And one night, about 12 o'clock, after going fishing about 4 days before and getting sun blasted, I knew I was going to get a big one. It was very painful. It was just starting. It's called a prodromal stage. You know what's coming, but it's not there yet. So I got up. My wife had a cream that she was using. And this cream contained procaine. And I had some interferon that was in a tablet form. So I mixed the 2 together, you know, like a chemist. And it came out kind of ugly looking. And I put it on my mouth. And the next morning I got up and I said, and the pain was gone right away. I said, what is this? Because these things are painful. What is this? The pain went away in about 2 or 3 minutes, and the next morning it looked like it was almost gone. I said, found something, did something. So during this whole period of time, I loved racing. And I would always be at the racetrack. People would always be coming up to me. I liked to go to Vegas and watch the boxing matches. I had friends that were well connected. And we used to sit ringside, and I don't know if you're not, I mean, these lights are pretty bad, but those lights are unbelievable. So we used to wear our sunglasses. And that goes pretty far back in my practice life. So from that day forward, I kind of liked the look. It became a symbol of Doc Miller. And when I walked through the pits at night, and I had these sunglasses on, and they would identify me immediately because that was my sign. That was Doc. Here comes Doc. Oh, there's Doc. But getting back to the story, I was still head of the department in the hospital. And I was talking to the administrator of the hospital one afternoon. And I said, you know, Herb, I said, I found something out. I don't know what I have. And he said, call a guy named Bill in Houston, Texas, who was a venture capitalist. I went out there, sat in front of him, and it so happened that his secretary had a cold sore. And I told him the story, and he said, I'll tell you what, you give her some of the medication that you brought with you, and if she's better tomorrow, I'll invest. So I put some medication on her, and the next day she didn't have a cold sore. So he put a team together, which consisted of the head chemist of J&J for 22 years.
My name is Dr. Richard Kronenthal. I was born in New York City, went to Brooklyn College, received a bachelor degree in chemistry, then went on to graduate school and received a PhD in organic chemistry back in 1955.
Brilliant man, has 58 patents. So many patents are still in use today in emergency rooms. If you walk into a hospital and you have to be stitched up, he invented it.
Received the prestigious Johnson Medal for Research and Development for a series of new products that I developed for Ethicon, and since their development have accumulated sales in the billions of dollars.
Here I am, an ordinary doctor, and here he is. I mean, he's just a monumental figure in Johnson & Johnson, who's probably one of the biggest pharmaceuticals in the world.
One of the things that we discovered during the work on that product was that two of the components, which we had originally thought would be completely independent in their mode of action, were reacting with each other in a very effective way. It formed a salt which had particular efficacy in that it allowed the formulation components to penetrate through the skin, we call that transdermal penetration, and get into the layers of the skin, of the dermis, that were particularly in need of the therapy. And I think that discovery of the interaction of these two materials was a key part of the explanation of the mechanism for the success of the efficacy of the material.